Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to episode 19 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian Fishing Podcast. I'm joined here by Diz. How are you, Diz?
Good, mate. Good, mate. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. Very good. Now, we're just sitting out here in the back room with the window open.
Yes.
And the lightning is a real show.
It absolutely is. Everybody's going mad on social media. Get out there, watch the storms. The boys in the country are talking about some serious rainfall and also really wishing everybody well if there's been some lightning strikes to start a fire. We don't want that, Rhodey.
No, we don't, but we do have to apologise if there is any thunder or rain or any of that going on in the background.
Yes. It'll be a bit of background white noise and drown out your garbage, so that won't be too bad. You're fresh back from a week at Port Douglas. We look forward to hearing that. We've got an absolute fantastic operator.
We do. Our guest is a ripper this week. We've been
Gavin
looking forward to having
Solly,
him on.
what an absolute legend. We've been out with him a few times and it's always a great day. We look forward to hearing from him later too. But Rhodey, I suppose your oranges and lemons is going to be pretty sort of holiday related.
Yes, we've been up at Port Douglas for the last week. So my orange would have been getting out there for a couple of good days fishing.
Yes.
I went out for a little half-day charter with a bloke named Shory in the estuaries.
Shory?
Yeah, Shory. He had a good few stories to tell.
Good man.
Yeah, so we got a couple of fish with him, a little brim and a couple of little mangrove jacks and things like that. So that was a bit of fun. Good
chewing?
Yeah, they were. We cooked them up whole.
Okay.
Foiled them up, cooked them on the barbie. They were good.
Yeah, right.
And then went out with Richard, so my girlfriend Lucy's dad. We went out on a all-day charter with Jake on Exceed Sports Fishing. Shout out to Jake. He's a fellow former South Australian.
He was a recommendation from some other fans of the show, wasn't he?
Ned McHenry and Flacky both recommended him. So he took us out. We got into some coral trout, which were a good feed too. A couple of Spanish mackerel. It was a good day out in the water. Plenty of sharks too.
Okay, enough about your oranges, mate. Give us some lemons. Bring us all back down to reality.
Well, look, last time we were up that way, I went to a little place called Hookabarra. Barramundi Farm.
Yes.
Cast a few lures out there, and there was a couple of albino ones getting around, and I was really eyeing off catching one of them.
Okay.
Rocked up there this year, closed for Renos.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I was a bit flat.
How could the whole place be closed for Renos? Surely there's a couple of separate dams.
Yeah, it did look like they had to have moved the barra into a different dam. We could have gone there, but... Anyway, what do you got for us this week, mate?
Okay, well, my oranges lemons is going to be a little bit based around your week too, believe it or not, mate.
Oh,
because
okay.
My lemon was actually having to watch all the social media you were putting up while I was stuck in the four walls in the pharmacy, mate.
Rough week, you reckon?
It was horrible. It was horrible having to be there. We had a couple of nice days of weather too down here. It would have been nice to get out of the boat. But anyway, not to be. And my orange is the cockle season opening, actually. Seen a few people posting photos about doing all right down there. But I'm certainly looking forward to filling the freezer up. Within the bag limits, of course, which are 300, I think. Like as a full sort of.
I think that's per person.
Yeah. So make sure you.
And I think the car limit's 1,200, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You just do not need any more than that, do you?
Yeah. So the individual limit I think is 300.
Yeah.
And the possession limit's 1,200.
Yeah. No. You don't need any more than that. And why wouldn't you want to go down there regularly? Really?
Oh, look, you're talking sense, mate.
Absolutely. All right, Rhodey, let's get into the merch, mate, because if there's one thing I know, you were spruiking it hard in the Port Douglas region. How'd the sales go?
Yeah, how did the hat look on the socials? Got some positive feedback. I think Fraser was a fan.
Not bad. I was just wondering whether you took up a little satchel full of them and just started...
I was selling them off on the main street. Don't worry about that.
Man. Good man. But
so we do have some caps left.
Yes.
And we do have some stubby holders left.
Yes. And it's perfect time now. I mean, I'm not surprised that... Look, I think it's fair to say we had a little bit of a slump in sales.
Yeah, I think they'll heat up now. The sun's out. Everyone wants a cold beer.
Why wouldn't they?
Keep the sun off their big forehead like yours.
Fair, they're good hats though.
Good
They're
Christmas
versatile.
present.
They're versatile. You can wear them at any occasion. You can wear them down the beach. You can wear them to the pub.
Have we confirmed yet if we're wearing ours for your wedding, or is that part of the official kit?
Absolutely. All right, Rody, tell us about Port Douglas, mate. You've touched on a few things. We do want to hear about the fishing, but you did get up to some other stuff, mate. So
so we went out for a day on Calypso, which was one of the dive boats. We did a day scuba diving out there, so we got a little video on the YouTube channel of that.
Get on it.
Have a look. Coral trout, lionfish, plenty of colours.
Yeah, it was good footage, that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
so we got lucky there.
Was that the GoPro?
Yeah, on the GoPro. We got lucky, went out for the scuba trip.
Yeah.
And Lucy and I were the only two scuba divers on the boat. So we got a private tour.
That wouldn't happen often, would it?
No, it was perfect. Apparently there was 14 divers the week before.
Oh, you nailed it.
So we got lucky there, and got out for 2 days fishing. But good weather and good week all round.
Absolutely. Fantastic, mate. Yeah, well, I think we might need to book ourselves into a trip before too long in a bit of reef hunting.
Yeah.
Throwing some poppers around.
I would be keen to go back out with Jake from Exceed Fishing and do a day on the poppers.
Yeah.
Get some GTs.
Yeah, good call. There's, certainly going by any footage, not that I can say from experience, they look like that'd be some real good fun.
Yeah, definitely. So we
top water action.
He talked that up. We also talked a big game about getting a team together for one of the marlin comps up there.
Ooh. Pricey?
So if anyone's got a lazy 10 grand lying around, they want to donate to the All the Gear team, we'd love to go.
Shout out to any accountants out there who can wrangle us a little tax write-off too.
We need more tax write-offs.
Yeah, we're really struggling on the money coming in side of things though, champion.
All right, should we get back onto the home state and talk a bit of fishing news, Diz?
Yes, we should, mate. And it's absolutely fitting that we talk about the recent event, which both of us unfortunately couldn't make. You, of course, because you're in Port Douglas. Myself, tied up with commitments and work. But boy, oh boy, it was a serious comp down at the Onka Stomper, wasn't it?
Yes, shout out to our boy Millsy and the team. I know Dan Way's involved and plenty of others that get around it.
They all support it, don't they? Everyone contributes. Great day. Devastated we missed it. Safe to say we will be an absolute shoo-in next year.
Yep, so there was just under 200 registered fishermen and fisherwomen in the competition. Approximately 280 there, including officials and spectators. Champion was Daniel Ferrugia.
41.5 centimetre brim.
Not a bad brim, really.
Absolutely.
Biggest female brim was 31.5 centimetres from Shannon Scholes.
Very good.
And biggest brim junior was 17 centimetres from Luke Curzons.
Yeah, good going.
And look, that's good, but as Millsy said, it's not really all about the fishing, this particular fishing comp, is it?
No, it's not. It's a good day out for family, but more importantly, it's a fantastic day for a wonderful cause, raising money for childhood cancer.
Yes, and they've outdone themselves. We thought we'd share with you their last 4 years of fundraising.
Yeah.
So 2017, they got just over 25 grand, which is pretty good.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Really.
2018, they were over $32,000.
Yeah.
2019, over 45, so it's grown 3 years in a row. And this year, they got a whopping $57,240.40.
It's unbelievable.
So it's a big effort by the team.
It's fantastic. It's really good. We see a lot of people get amongst it. And probably the great news which comes out of that is Millsy's locked in for another 5 years.
He is. I think he had to hit 50 grand, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he said he wanted to hit 50 grand.
Yeah, so he's well past that, and we've got Millsy running the show for another 5 years, which is great.
I'd say there's a fair few people who've just said, look, we're not getting rid of Millsy.
We're going to chip it ourselves. The rest, yeah. So, congratulations to all that were involved in that.
Yeah, fantastic effort. All right, Rody, let's move on to some other news which has been breaking over the last couple of weeks. And Look, mate, I think this has been doing the rounds, but the lobster catch being stuck in Chinese airports amid some of the trade tensions which have been brewing is not good news for the southeast fishery, is it?
No, it's not. So obviously the trade disputes are a bigger issue than just the fishing side of things.
Yes.
But as a side effect, I suppose you'd say, tons of live lobsters are being stranded at Chinese airports. So they ship them all over there fresh, alive, ready to go.
Yep.
To get the top dollar at the markets.
Yep.
And they're sitting in the sun at the airport.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not. So apparently the Chinese are inspecting between 50 and 100% of Australian rock lobsters, citing concerns about trace elements of metals, but there are certainly claims that it's a bit of a stalling type setup.
It stinks of a stalling type of setup. And look, the Trade Minister's come out seeking more information from the industry, but basically if China is discriminating against Australian products, that's going to be a breach of our international trade rules and he won't be happy. But part of me fears that China might just say, you know what, champ?
Stuff ya.
Stick it.
So, look, I don't know. This is a
laughing.
bigger issue than just our fishing podcast. I'm sure there's someone more intelligent than us sorting this out.
Mate, I hope so. I honestly hope so.
So, but you never know. Maybe Joe Biden getting in will have a positive impact on the fishing in SA.
Good call. Good call. Let's not get into the Biden-Trump politics, or we might be here all night. All right, there has been some more news on the scalefish fishery reform, hasn't it? Right?
So, yes, the $24.5 million historic reform.
Yes.
More has been announced. Among the, I suppose, the most controversial part of it was that the West Coast King George whiting will no longer be subjected to individual quota and will have an allowable commercial catch of 473 tonnes for the 2021-22 season.
Right, now tell our listeners what the average commercial catch was over the last 5 years.
125 tonne.
I'll let you have a little opinion here, mate, on what you think about that.
Certainly sounds like a lot, 473 tonne.
That is garbage.
So that's 4 times, roughly,
Yeah.
what they've been catching every year.
That stinks. That does.
So, yeah, so that's
That
certainly
stinks of poor management and
controversial.
stinks of snapper. So
this is a quote from Recfish SA. So they have said that the recreational sector have a 48.5% allocation to the King George whiting fishery. So does that mean that we're due for an increase in bag limits to match the increase in commercial harvest? And that's a good question.
It is.
And according to this Facebook post they put up, that'd equal 617 tonne for recos, which is much higher than the 367 tonne of King George whiting, which was mentioned in the 2014 survey.
Yes.
So that's the most recent survey done on the rec fishing.
Yeah.
Which I suppose that's another point we've had a bit of discussion on in the last couple of weeks.
We have. Is how accurate is that?
So, I think the Minister Basham's stats in our last episode about the kingfish,
Yes.
that many of our listeners weren't convinced about. I'm not sure we were.
No, well, you can't be convinced about them because they. We talked to Minister Basham about wanting to get better understanding of what the recreational fishermen actually catch.
Yes.
Because I had a bit of a perusal of that report and I suspect that they are very average-based numbers. Now, the commercial recos are subject to more scrutiny around what their actual catch is.
Yes.
Because they're selling.
Yes.
So we need to get some better numbers there, but they're dicey at best for mine.
I reckon they're not the greatest in the world. So hopefully we come up with a better method of getting some accurate figures that can better resemble what is actually caught recreationally and give us a bit more of a foot to stand on in some of these disputes.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. That's pretty much all from the fishery reform this week, isn't it, Rhodey? Or have we got something else there, mate?
Yeah, I think the voluntary licence closes the surrender of the voluntary licence closes on the 13th of November, which is quickly approaching.
Good call.
And the other sort of main change that I could see was about the Mongolian sardine fishers to be separate from the marine scale fishery, meaning they can take advantage of the licence surrender program.
Yes, okay, interesting. All right, let's move on to a different news story. And Fraser had some part to play in this.
Yes, he
New
did.
Coast Guard boat for Port Vincent. Great news.
Yeah.
Great investment. Good initiative by the government, I'd suggest. Protecting the people who use the water. Sea rescue vessel. It's called Vincent Star. And it was launched and opened by Vincent Tarzia.
Did he name it after himself?
I'm wondering that. It's a bit arrogant if he did.
Isn't it?
Because Fraser suggested a name, didn't he?
Yeah, so just for a bit of background, Fraser Ellis, who's the local MP, was also involved in this announcement.
Yes.
And he cracked a bit of a gag at the two of us.
Yeah, he thought that it should have been named Rhodey and Diz's rescue towboat. Which we thought was pretty ordinary banter.
I think that's having a go at our average boating skills off Black Point, is it?
Well, might be. Well, we've definitely got all the equipment necessary to get ourselves out of some strife.
And we've actually got a flawless boating record.
True.
But yeah, so it's an 8.7 metre long boat, 2.9 metres wide, and it's powered by two 250 horsepower Yammies.
Yeah.
So that'll get them out there much quicker.
Oh yeah. They'll be able to get out there fast.
So it's a Nautic made by a South Australian builder in Lonsdale. And they also got a new Isuzu truck to tow it.
Jeez, the government's been splashing some cash.
Pretty good, isn't it? So the Port Vincent Flotilla, as they're called, started 20 years ago and is up to 23 members. They've done 18 assists this year.
How good.
So good that the Port Vincent folk can now be a little bit safer in their boating. But of course, that'll also help out the whole Gulf, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, good news.
Very good news there. Now, we do have some big news out of the MRFAC because, of course, they met very recently on Thursday, October 29, and we should thank Lee Van Soest,
Yes.
friend of the show, for providing some insights, and she's committed on that post to providing as much intel as she can to ensure that her friends and rec fishers alike are across the latest news. So
this was the first meeting since David Basham took over, I believe.
yes, that's correct.
And they have published a document with a summary of key points, which I thought was good.
I do too.
I like to know what's going on, and I'm sure lots of our listeners do.
Absolutely.
So we'll give you a bit of a summary here, won't we, Diz?
Yes, we will. And this is one that's been hot on our agenda because we do want to know what the results of the survey have been, the rec fishing survey, and they will be posted online, hopefully in a similar fashion. Some key points or some takeaways.
Yes, if they keep up these published documents, we'll be quite happy.
Yes, but we don't have a date.
So unsure when, and we did discuss this with David Basham, and he wasn't sure what they were going to do and was leaving it up to MRFAC.
Yep.
So I think they've made a good decision to share that information.
Yep.
Whether or not we go ahead with it, it would still be good to know what the recos feel.
Yes, absolutely. So there has been some more development in the rec fishing strategy for SA, and they want to have a strategic plan put together based upon the outcomes of the survey we were just talking about, and they want to make sure that that strategic plan is all ready to rock and roll by July 2021.
Bit of a tongue twister there.
It is. It won't be long though, mate. It'll be 1 July 2021 before you bloody blink.
Yes, it will. Year goes quick. So the MRFAC has also provided advice to the Snapper Management Advisory Committee to help in the implementation of the total allowable catch. Graham Keegan is the Snapper nominated representative for the Snapper Management Advisory Committee.
Yep.
The recommendations they've made to him were rejecting the use of tags in 2021, a daily limit of 2 snapper per person, which I definitely agree with, and mandatory reporting of snapper catch via the Pursa app.
Good call.
It is a good call. And it's interesting that Graham Keegan's now become the nominated representative for the snapper management.
Yes, it is. He's a passionate man and certainly going to be close.
We ran into him at the How's Your Tackle the other day, didn't we?
Yes, we
And
did.
he's certainly very passionate about his snapper and his fishing in South Australia.
Yeah, which is good. And I do like the idea of some mandatory reporting through the PIRSA app.
Well, again, as we just discussed, that'll give us more accurate numbers.
That's exactly right, mate. That is what we want. All right, so MRFAC has also made a request to get some risk assessments done and produced on the interaction between wrecked fishers and dolphins in Port River, because that has been
in the
a
news.
hot topic.
And it's interesting because there's certainly a school of thought that are the recos doing all the damage.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I'm not an expert. But there's plenty of other ways the dolphins could get injured.
Absolutely there is. Absolutely there is. Let's not go there. We might have some crazies.
All right, next one. So, a letter will be written by the MRFAC to David Basham in response to the kingfish and some of the concerns about the commercial fishing that's been going on up around Port Augusta.
Yep.
So the MRFAC will monitor additional information that becomes available with a view to making further recommendations to the Minister.
Yes.
So I suppose that's really a wait and see one, isn't it?
Well, I think it must be, really.
But they're certainly aware of it, and they're certainly going to produce something as the year goes on.
I can't imagine many of those MRFAC members sat around that table and said, you know what, we're happy with that.
No, it certainly wasn't a good look.
No. So I'm sure there'll be some action there.
All right, keeping on moving, we talked about this last episode, I think, the Seafood Advisory Forum that's been set up by the government to create a 10-year plan for the seafood industry in South Australia.
Yes.
We've had an announcement on the MRFAC members who have been nominated to join this.
Yep.
So they've chosen Jamie Crawford, who's a fella from Port Lincoln. He writes for the SA Angler, and he's got a bit of a background. He previously worked for Clean Seas Tuna and now working for Seamaster Fishing Supplies.
Yep. We've also Brian Stokes, game fisher
from Murray Bridge.
Murray Bridge of all places, good on him.
So they're the two that are going to be the MRFAC representatives on the seafood planning.
That's good.
So certainly good that the recos get a say in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some things that they've wanted to be looking at down the future, isn't there? They want to get some access to some of the funding for boating, camping, fish facilities, and they want to do some Murray cod stocking, amongst some other things with catch surveys, isn't it?
Yeah, and a bit of a further look at the fishing licence / potentially a registration or some way of, I suppose, keeping better numbers, better stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that's a pretty good wrap of the MRFAC meeting.
It is a lot happening there.
Could have sworn we were there. How much we know.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's good. It is good that they published that document. I really think that'll be a sign of the future, hopefully, for getting some traction there, already.
It is. It's certainly good for keeping us in the loop.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, there has been some results of the Kingy Comp.
Yes, the Adelaide Game Fishing Club that ran through the month of October, I believe.
Yes.
And some big fish caught.
Big fish caught, big prizes.
Yeah.
A lot happening.
So, David Clark, he took out first place. He won himself a Shimano Twin Power 14K.
How good.
And what about the fish he caught?
152 CMs.
It's pretty impressive.
It's a big fish. It's good.
And that's only to the fork, keeping in mind.
Yeah, that's right.
And that reel's got to be worth $700-800.
Oh yeah.
They're good reels.
Excellent reels.
And
hey, second place is nothing to laugh at, mate.
Second place was also David Clark.
Yeah, I know, but
what a legend!
He's just cleaned up.
So his second fish was 130 centimetres to the fork, and he won himself a How's Your Tackle downrigger setup.
It's the only way to get you downrigger.
So Boyd has really looked after him.
Yeah, good on them down there.
Yeah, good fella.
Great fellas.
And we've been talking a big game about getting over to Port Augusta in the next couple of weekends to get amongst them.
Yeah.
So we'll certainly be heading down to Boyd to get some fresh bait if that plan does eventuate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But good to see them supporting the Kingy Comp.
Yep, really good.
Marcus Reinders, 125 centimetre fork in third place.
You reckon he'd be a bit unhappy that old David Clark's just gone bang 1-2. I'll have him, and he's gone 5 centimetres short.
Unlucky, but not quite close enough.
You'd still be pretty happy with 125 centimetre of the Fort Kingy though, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Geez, you add the tail onto that. It's a big fish.
Absolutely.
All right, Diz, what have you found us? This is some of your best research here.
It's a little bit of a David Gillespie special, just flicked it on me. Look, mate, not a massive amount of news out of this, but it could be something bubbling away in the background because a fisherman, Mr. Willis, he is starting a class action against the state government in regards to these quotas, which have recently been announced, because he's very worried about the longevity and economy of some of these regional towns if they get put out of place. He can't catch as many fish without a net. He's only able to get out there on certain days with his hooks. He's not too happy about it, and I don't think it... I tend to agree with him in some aspects, so it's a bit of watch this space, but he suspects about 500 people across the country, particularly the regional towns, will suffer. So it's a bit of a watch this space, mate.
It's certainly one to keep an eye on, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the budget has been recently announced.
Yeah, so this is breaking news. So we're just getting across this.
We are just getting across
but
this.
But we picked out a few little highlights of the budget from a recreational fishing perspective.
Pulled out some snippets and... $22 million, Rhodey, going over 2 years to upgrade the ferry berthing infrastructure at Cape Jarvis and Penneshaw.
That'll make the journey all the more smooth.
Yep. If you go down there, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it is looking a bit tired.
Yeah, look.
And what I love about this is hopefully it encourages more people to get across to KI, because there has been some funding thrown behind KI after they got hammered by the fires, which we will touch on, but that's a good news story.
Yep, always good. They've also put in $45 million over 4 years to rebuild tourism attractions on Kangaroo Island, so that'll further encourage people to head over, as we're doing in January and February next year.
We look forward to that.
And
yes, we previously discussed on last week's episode, I think it was, $40 million going into some jetties and boat ramps across the state. We mentioned them, Osal, boat ramp,
couple over on the peninsula,
somewhere else.
And this is an interesting one you found for us,
Yeah, one little snippet which caught my eye, because us being the keen pig hunters we are, and Tyler and Bill are certainly fans of it.
Ivanhoe pig hunting legends.
Written into folklore in those parts. A healthy $2.7 million has been thrown into eradicating wild pigs on KI, and I think what we missed is we should have put our tender in for 2.5 mil. We would have done it for him.
Yeah, we would have taken Gates's dog Maud over and caught him ourselves.
Do you think it's too late for us to get on to Fraser and just
I think we put our hand up.
Reconsider.
We could do it for half that, I reckon. We'd take 1.3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we won't say we still No.
All right, that is a wrap on the budget and a wrap on the fishing news for today.
It was big, but there was a lot of big stories in that, Rhodey.
It was. It was detailed, it was thorough, it was a good news section.
Yeah, you happy with your work?
Good work by us. All right,
now that was just the warm-up. That was the preamble.
So we're about to be joined by a legend of South Australian fishing. He's Gavin Solly from KI Fishing Adventures. He runs a quality operation from Western River on the island. We've been out with him a couple of times and we've been really keen to get him on the show. Our calendars are finally lined up and we're looking forward to having a chat.
Okay, welcome to the show. Gavin Solly of Kangaroo Island Fishing Adventures down at Western River on lovely Kangaroo Island. It's fantastic to have you on the show. Thank you very much for coming, Gavin.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah, Gav, we're going to get straight into it. Thanks for coming on, mate. We're going to get into it with your best fish. Tell us what your favourite catch is.
My favourite fish to catch probably is a good schools of King George whiting.
Yeah.
The fellas seem to enjoy it, or all people seem to enjoy the challenge of catching whiting in 40 to 50 metres of water.
Oh, absolutely, and it's a great thrill when you get onto a big school down there with you on the boat. It's fantastic fun. What's your favourite thing about fishing, Gavin?
Oh, like just seeing other people enjoy the day. You never know what you're going to catch. You bait your hook up and you drop it down, especially in our area where it's generally 40 to 50 metres. You're really never sure what you're going to get. Even with a small whiting bait on, you can pull up a fish as big as a gummy shark.
Yeah, certainly when we've been out with you before, Gav, it certainly is that mystery and a bit of suspense when you're pulling in the line as to what's going to be on the bottom of it, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we've normally got 10 clients on board, so there's a variety of different fish coming up, consistently. So it's good to see the smiles on their faces when they catch something they don't expect.
Yeah, and Gav, what's your first fishing memory or what got you into it, mate?
We had a shack up on the River Murray as a child, so we'd fished the River Murray with my grandfather on those frosty mornings with this bit of fog on the river, going down and watching the wildlife fly off and just drop it down. Back then you could catch callop, or maybe your listeners know them as yellow belly, catfish and silver perch. So the river was quite active back then. It was before European carp, so they were pretty good fishing days back then.
Yeah, fantastic. And Gavin, your favourite sort of fishing, is it getting onto those big schools at King George you were telling us about?
I really like to fish for all sorts of species, but it is quite good to see those 40, 50 centimetre King George whiting come up. I like fishing for nanagai as well. With big schools of nanagai, we get out through this area. They're quite a sustainable fish, so we target them. We'll add 5 per person. And it's not unusual for us to get our 50 nannies for the day and try and pick out good quality fish. They don't suffer barotrauma, so the smaller fish can go back in without any trouble at all. They've got a quite hard swim bladder, so they survive the journey up and down quite easily. So that's a pretty good table fish as well, and a big mouth, and the hook sticks in them pretty well, so people don't generally have too much trouble hooking them.
Yeah, and they're bloody good eating, nanagai, aren't they? They're underrated, I reckon.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're a lot better than a snapper. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't take snapper at the moment, but nanagai, if you're filling them properly, skin them, there's not a lot of bone structure in them. Take the bone out and put them into a bite-sized piece and crumb them. It's hard to beat it, really. Yeah,
no, it's really good eating. And Gav, what about, surely all these times you've been out on the charter taking people out, you must have a funny story for us, Gav.
A funny story? Oh, there's plenty of funny stories. I can't think of one that comes to mind, but...
It wasn't that time we came out with you and Rhodey didn't catch anything the whole day, was it?
No, probably one of the funny things that sticks in my mind is a young fella come out with his girlfriend in a mixed group, and she absolutely destroyed him, and he got quite upset about it. And really got upset and started talking down to her, and the whole crew turned on him and put him in his place. Kept him pretty quiet for the day.
Perfect. All right, well, thanks for answering those 5 questions, Gavin. We know you catch some big fish down there, and that's coming firsthand because we've been out with you. Mate, your business down there, it's a stunning location. We love Kangaroo Island. You're in a really remote part down there in Western River. Tell us what got you into the business.
I came back from working overseas on a super yacht and travelled through this area and thought, wow, this is really pristine. So I bought a block down here, and we managed to develop a marina up on just adjacent to Western River Beach, and really remote access area here. It used to be a multiple day trip to get down here. So we built a little marina and started with a little 25-foot boat, and now we're operating a 32-ton, 65-footer. We can fish most weather. It's just a sensational place to fish. The drive in is as good as, and getting onto the boat is as good as the day on the water. People would absolutely love the remoteness, and it's quite a unique place to not only fish from the sea, from a boat, but also land-based fishing is pretty good around here as well.
Yeah, it's certainly a picturesque spot as you sort of drive down the hill, see the marina, see the water. And I know when we've been out with you in the past, Gav, we've got tuna basically straight out the front. So it is an abundant fishing location. But tell us about the marina that you've got set up there, because I know that was a bit of work to get that set up, but now you've got it. It's an amazing resource you've got.
Yeah, it's been ongoing for about 25 years. The marina was first dug by a dive charter operator, a small marina, and we slowly developed it bigger and bigger over the years to be able to house a 65-foot West Coaster in there. And we can leave our boat in there all year, as big as the seas get along in this area through the winter time. We can leave it there all year tied up. Obviously extra ropes through the winter, but we never have to move the boat, which makes it quite good because we can sneak out at any time the weather breaks. Through those winter months, there's some sensational winter fishing here, big whiting and good schools of fish going through. The tuna will start soon, so, and like you said, they're right on our doorstep. Sometimes we're literally 3 to 5 minutes out the front and the tuna are there. Where the birds show us where they are. We've got a bird finding radar on the boat, so we can turn that on. We can find even as little as 6 or 7 birds as far as 4 or 5 miles away. Wow. So that helps locate where they are. It doesn't give much of a chance, I suppose, but it makes it easy for me because before, trying to find 4 or 5 or 6 birds 4 or 5 miles away is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
The technology of the radars now is unbelievable. If you've got them tuned in properly and they're consistently flying around an area, the radar will pick them up. So it makes it narrows the chase down a little bit.
Yeah, fantastic. And you talked a bit about your boat, Gavin. It's a wonderful vessel. We've loved being out on it a couple of times, and you're not wrong. You feel safe in. So we've been out one time. It sort of got a bit blowy towards the end of the day, but not once did we think we were in any danger. She's an absolute beast, mate. Tell us about that. It must have been a big old purchase when you first got him.
Yeah, we bought it from the Queensland government. Belonged to Marine Safety Queensland. It came up as a tender, so I tendered and won the tender, and we bought it back. And we didn't fish out of it for a year. We just developed it and made it a bit more user-friendly for fishing. It wasn't equipped for fishing. It was more of a... I'm not sure exactly what role it took up there because I only dealt with the guys in charge of asset disposals, but I believe it was patrolling right up as far as the Australian territorial border. And so it had no real good electronics on it. So we put good electronics, good anchor winch, set the deck up so you had seating. As you know, it's got a nice big table and big seats.
Yeah.
So you can take a load off when you're trolling or just between shots. So we set all that up, and because it's heavy boat, 30 tonne, it's not particularly fast, sort of 14 knots pulls it up, but here we don't have to travel too far. So our biggest run out here would be maybe 15 minutes and you're on the fish. So, and then 15 minute, we might end up an hour out, but that'll be in four 15-minute runs probably. So you don't notice that you're 14, 15 miles offshore, nautical miles, so 30 k's. And then you do it pretty easy, pretty comfortably.
Yeah, it's certainly a great vessel, very comfortable, and it certainly knows how to find the fish. Gav, tell us about a typical day. You do some day trips, you do some overnight trips. What sort of a normal charter that the punters out there can sign up for? What can they expect to catch? And tell us about a day out on the water with KI Fishing Adventures.
Well, we start our day generally at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're a minimum of 10, so if you haven't got 10 people, we can sometimes put a mixed group together, but most of the guys that book the boat book as a group. We've got accommodation here at Western River, so they come and stay the night. We pick them up in the morning and we travel to out in the morning, and I ask them what they want. If they want snapper, they want whiting or nanagai, tuna, whatever's around at that time of year. And then we just go and set about trying to find the species they're after. We get a lot of Samson fish, especially these next couple of months coming up. Quite good Samson fish months. So some people want to catch a Samson, a kingfish. Other people are happy to catch a King George whiting. So we try and ask them what they want to do and then try and target the fish they're after.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. It's a great day out on the water, and it would be remiss of us not to mention what a challenging year I'm sure it has been for you down there. The bushfires presented some massive destruction a whole way along the island, and we know that you felt that, and then COVID just smashed us again. So give us some insight, mate, a local down there and first-hand experience. I bet it's been a tough year for you.
Yeah, a tougher year for other people. We didn't lose our home. We lost a lot of fences, a lot of pastures, some sheep,
Yeah.
We lost one building, but most of our friends lost their homes and a lot of their stock, and it was a horrific year for a lot of people. And a lot of people now are just starting to suffer a little bit mentally, even in the community. So even though they're starting to rebuild and get things back to normal, I think the toll is starting to take a bit of a toll on people's mental health. And COVID obviously hasn't helped that, but for us personally, we've survived it fairly well. Myself and my wife, my son, so we're soldiering through it fairly well. Been a big loss of income, but compared to what others lost, we're miles in front, really.
Yeah, and you did touch as well, Gav, on the COVID. How's that affected you guys? I know there's been, obviously you've lost your interstate and international type guests, but hopefully a lot of the local tourists are getting over there and getting amongst it. How have you gone with all that as well?
Yeah, no, that's going pretty well. I mean, we lost all our Victorian clients, but they're not gone completely. They will be back. And so we've been going for 22 years, and some of these people from Victoria have been coming with me for at least 20 of those years. So they're not about to go anywhere. They're frustrated themselves. They can't get over it. But given time, they'll be back. And our South Australian clients are guys we haven't seen for years are rebooking, and no one can go anywhere too far. No one's going to venture interstate. We can't go overseas. So I think Kangaroo Island's going to prosper from a lot of people coming over and visiting. Our forward bookings certainly reflect that. So.
Yeah, and certainly we've got a couple of KI trips booked over the next 3 or 4 months, and we're really looking forward to getting over there, supporting the locals and seeing how it's all bouncing back over there. I remember, Gav, you telling us one of the fish that you couldn't quite catch off the bottom of the island. There was this particular spot where you kept going and hooking something pretty big and nasty, but it seemed to bite you off. Have you managed to catch that fish yet, Gav?
No, we still don't know what that is. We're not sure if they're... we certainly think they're big sea bass. We've been snapped off we fished down on the edge of the shelter in 600 metres, and there's something down there that can snap a 150-pound braid like it's not even there. So we're not sure if it's big mako, or we don't think it's swords. It's something that rubs off on the rocks, very aggressive and hard to stop. So we'll get one day. We don't get down there that often because it's too far and it's a multiple day trip, but we keep going back every year trying to find out what it is. And
what's the next step, Gav? Get a big winch of cable down there or something like that. What are you going to do next?
I don't know. It's hard to fish anything thicker than 150 pounds because you can't anchor, obviously, in that depth.
Yes.
You've got to drift. So we've tried, 80 pounds ideal, but once you even get to 150 pounds, you start really catching a lot of current. So you need a bigger weight. We fished with 6 pounder left with 80 pounds, but we found with 150 pounds, you need to almost double that. So it starts getting hard work when you've got to pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Gavin, we follow you on Facebook, and there have been some epic size whiting on some of those overnight trips, and it's probably nothing new for you, mate, but a 60 centimetre whiting is a different sort of fish compared to some of those sort of just legal size ones we're used to catching. I bet you love seeing those big thumpers come across the side.
They are good. We don't see a lot of them, but when I often put a beer can in there just to give some people some perspective of just how round they actually are. They're rounder than a beer can around the back of the head. Ugh. And like you say, 60 centimetres long. There's a lot of... One person, it'll feed 2 people easily with fish to spare, so you don't need too many.
Yeah.
And they probably are the big breeders, the engine room, the investigator straight, so we try not to punish them too hard, but every now and again you look at a school down there and they look like a school of snapper, and you get your 6-0 hooks and send it down expecting to... This was prior to snapper closure, expecting to get some snappers come up, and you'll pluck out a 60 centimetre whiting.
And geez, I'm not sure we've ever got one bigger than sort of mid-40s on our boat, Diz, but geez, they must pull some string. They'd put up a good fight, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, you're coming over shortly, so we'll see if we can put you on something.
Yeah, we're coming over in February. It's a bit of a warm-up for Dizzy's buck show at the races, so we've got that to look forward to, Gav.
We'll see if we can find you a couple of kidney snappers.
Yeah, we can't wait, Gav. Mate, thank you very much for coming on the show and giving us your time. we'll give you a share on Facebook, because there's one thing we know, and we've been on a few charters, but there's none better than yours down there on the island. It's an absolute ripping day out. The island is lovely, so get down there and give Gavin the support. It's a great day out on the water. Thanks for coming on the show, mate.
It's kind of me to say that. Thanks, fellas. Look forward to taking you out in the near future.
Beautiful.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Gav.
Bye.
Thanks, boys.
Geez, it was good to hear from Gavin. He's an excellent operator, a fantastic fisherman, and what makes the day out on the boat with him is just having a good yarn, isn't it?
He's a ripping bloke, isn't he?
He is.
And he's modest too.
He's absolutely modest.
He's actually better than what he made himself sound.
Yeah, good call.
He's a bit of a guru.
Good call. All right, Rody, let's get stuck into the report, mate. There's a bit of stuff going around here, and it would be remiss of us to not first open up the report of how well friend of the show and a great bloke, Hamish White, has done on the Kingies recently.
Yeah, we shared a photo the last couple of days.
Yeah.
He went over there. He got into the Kingies big time.
Oh, he smashed them, didn't he?
And I think he's caught a couple others this season too.
Yeah, some absolute stonkers.
And going by those photos, there was at least a couple of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think he got a couple with the downrigger, and he got them on jigs too.
Yeah, very impressed with his work.
And plenty of other Kingies floating around through the Game Fishing Club competition.
Yeah.
So there is plenty of people getting some fish. We are half talking about heading over maybe this weekend or next weekend.
Now's the time.
You got to make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, certainly not shining right at the minute, mate, with that thunder going around.
So while the Kingies are on, I think we cancel work and head over.
Fair call.
So we'll see what we can do, but we might have a Kingie report for next episode.
Fair call. All right, and we caught up with the prominent farmers of the York Peninsula, the Murdochs, last weekend. They promised to trip out on their boat, but certainly wouldn't be the first time they've done that. What are your thoughts initially
and they
on
did
that?
talk a big game about listening to the show, so we'll be hoping they send us a little text saying thanks for the shout out, boys.
Yeah, fair. But I have more recently than that seen Lockie just bringing over whiting, like hand over fist over the side of the boat on their new Haynes Hunter.
And is it fair to say Lockie's a better fisherman than Will and Angus?
I think Lockie's a better fisherman. More importantly, he might actually be a better bloke.
Whack!
No, we like them and we like their work. They, in all honesty, and I think they probably called us out on it the other night, there's a fair bit of jealousy in some of this chat.
They've certainly got a bigger boat and catch more fish.
Yeah, that's right.
All
Anyway, okay, while we're on the York Peninsula, I have been seeing some pretty serious catches of some gar, dusk, warm nights, off the beach, North Beach, Wallaroo, plenty of big ones. So
Yes.
if you're in the game for some gar and you're down that way, get amongst them.
And there's nothing quite like warm summer's night, still water, bit of dabbing.
Oh, yeah.
That's certainly, we're doing some of that this summer.
Absolutely, mate. That's good. One other piece out of the report, Rody, from the week just gone is, wouldn't call him an avid fisherman, Angus, work colleague of mine, great fella. Been down at Renmark Big 4 with the family, got lucky with the weather.
Yeah.
And the kids just found a new appetite for fishing. He was
Little
telling me.
honey hole.
Yeah, found a honey hole, smashed the carp, couple of good photos, and look, getting the kids into it, mate, that's what it's all about, isn't
Nothing quite like sitting on the river on a summer's day,
it? Just pulling them in.
hauling in some horses.
Hauling in. You just don't get latchy on the net.
Nah, don't.
And look, I can't speak of any experience here in regard to fishing the Warren and catching cod, but I've seen plenty of photos.
And Callop.
Yeah, and some callop. But some really
So good to see the local reservoirs firing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good. Really good. All right, that just about wraps up the report for the week, Rody. You wanted to give the listeners a bit of an update on some of your YouTubing work.
Yeah, so we did put up a little one from Port Douglas from the Great Barrier Reef. So go on and spot yourself a couple of coral trout, a couple of reef species.
Yeah, you're not bad on the old YouTube uploads.
Yeah,
are you?
make sure you also get back and have a look at Dizzy's great work with the how-to. What do you tell us about on the how-to?
What's our highest? Is that actually our highest watched episode?
Yeah, no, the Burley Pot how-to is going well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a few more how-tos.
Yeah, so we'll get you on the knife, showing the folk how to fill in a couple of species.
Settle down. settle down.
But yes, no, the YouTube is going well, as is the rest of the socials, the Facebook and the Instagram. Make sure you are tagging us in all your fishing escapades,
Absolutely.
whether they be good or bad.
Yeah. We just like seeing photos.
We'd actually like a few more people to sort of take the piss out of their mates, really.
Yeah. Or some more people go on fishing trips and catch donuts.
So if you can send a couple of pictures of your mates with their average fishing, that'd probably be more appreciated.
Good call. If you see a mate who's just a genuine case of all the gear,
Get him involved.
just get him involved, mate.
We'll slam him on the show.
Get him involved. We will. We'll happily chirp.
All
All right.
right.
And speaking of chirping, this is no doubt going to be bad.
Now, so what did Dan Way say? I'm still the worst joke, but only just.
I think.
So I think that means I'm getting better.
Right. Okay.
All right, the shout
We
out to the
actually
fishing
go
guru.
by our jokes are definitely by Dan's feedback on how bad our jokes are.
The fishing guru is our self-appointed judge of all jokes. All right, I've gone deep into the World Wide Web to find this one. And get ready, guys, you can have a laugh. Why are fish cleverer than humans? Ever seen a fish spend a fortune trying to hook a human? That's actually not too bad.
I always get disappointed in this part of the episode.
All right, good joke.
We do spend a fortune. That is for sure.
There's nothing true about that.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on episode 19 of All the Gear But No Idea. Shout out to Gav from KI Fishing Adventures. He was a great guest and he's a great fisherman.
He is, absolutely. And look, if I just cast my mind forward, we're probably only about 7 episodes off hitting our 1 year anniversary, Brody, and we're planning something big.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So, hang around because the best is yet to come. Thanks for listening, guys.
See ya.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.